Freedom from responsibilities. I mean, who doesn't want that? Well, students at George Washington University are demanding a safe space for illegal immigrants. But that's not the only sanctuary that they want on campus.
A sanctuary campus where student loan laws don't affect you here.
Oh, absolutely.
Sanctuary campus from underage drinking laws, where we don't have to enforce underage drinking laws on campus.
I do agree with that one. Be a sanctuary campus from final exams this year.
Interesting. So that would mean no final exams?
Yeah.
So like a sanctuary campus from parking laws, because too many parking tickets.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, that's kind of entrapment to sit there and ask them if they want sanctuary from underage drinking laws. Hadley Heath Manning, Richard Goodstein are back with us. Richard, what do you think of these precious snowflakes?
I think if you put a microphone in the front of a bunch of CEOs and said, what if you had no taxes? Cool. What if you had free labor? That would be sweet. So, and they're smarter than these students, but I think they'd kind of play along just like these students did. I do think that people should understand that sanctuary cities, people are not being hidden. All they're saying is, we're not going to cooperate willingly. If law enforcement has a warrant or some papers, fine. We'll obviously cooperate. We're just not going to make it easier for you, and that's what we call due process.
Well, Hadley, not actually. I mean, when they're talking about having sanctuary campuses, they're saying they're not going to cooperate with ICE. And, in fact, even in the sanctuary city situation, I watched a whole ad with Bill de Blasio where he bragged about how he signed a local law that said we will not cooperate with ICE. When we have people in custody, we are not going to cooperate, and we are not going to hand them over no matter what. And he was so pleased about this, he had an ad going in the back of the taxi telling everyone it is a little more aggressive than that.
That's right, and I think the results of the last national election show that most Americans are sick of stuff like this. I mean, what can we do with man-on-the-street videos like this one except for kind of roll our eyes? But the point is there that rules are rules and laws are laws, and they're there for our benefit. Freedom and responsibility go hand in hand, and a lot of college students are up for a rude awakening when they leave campus if they think that campus can sort of be a sanctuary from any type of rule or any type of law. That, again, it's there for the benefit of society as a whole.
So, Richard, do you worry about that at all, going back to the kids on campus, that they're sort of in this kind of false bubble that doesn't exist in real life? And this is another way where when they're lowering the flag to half-mast as a result of an election, and they're protected from any kind of speech and any kind of microaggression, how are they ever going to make it in real life when they come out into the rest of society? I mean, wouldn't you worry about that if that was your kid on campus there?
Look, the fact is a lot of these kids work. They have part-time jobs. They're going to learn soon enough, right, Melissa? And once they do graduate and they get into the real world and they start complaining about some of the things that kind of offend them, as college students, they'll learn what it's like. I'm actually... Look, of course people should deal with reality. They shouldn't deal with fantasy. And that's true with the guy who went into that pizza place, which is 5 blocks from my house, incidentally, thanks to General Flynn and his son. So people need to deal in reality, and not in fantasy. And that's true for generals, and it's true for college students. I agree with that.
Hadley, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think we've been treating young adults too much like children. We'd all benefit from treating people. When they turn 18, they're legally the age of majority. So let's start treating people like adults sooner rather than later. And that way, the transition to the real world will be that much smoother.
See, I think some of these things are creeping out, though, into the rest of society as well. When you're in a workplace and they're saying you can't use the word quarterback because it's too gender specific. But I don't know. We'll see. A lot of these things could be turning around in this next wave. Hadley and Richard, thanks for coming on. We appreciate your time.